2. It wasn't until 10th grade that I saw my name in print. I could actually feel my synapses flame with this confirmation of my destiny. The editor told me it was very unusual for a sophomore to get a byline story, even though I knew I could have written the whole school paper by myself, every single word. I told her how grateful I was to have gotten the chance. I wasn't even lying. Not then. The staff of the school paper always picked the editor. Every member got to vote, but it wasn't like the other elections at school. It wasn't the most popular kid who won. It was the one who was willing to do the most work. Some of the kids just wanted to do their own thing, take photos or write poems or do a gossip column, silly garbage like that. But putting the whole thing together, that wasn't a job most people wanted. They always said the editor should be someone who had earned the job, worked their way up from the bottom, paid their dues. So, naturally, they always picked a senior for the position. High school has all kinds of rules, the kind they put on posters, and the kind you learn by watching how things work. It doesn't take long before you realize that the rules don't apply to everyone. Certain kids get to do certain things, other kids don't. Nobody had to spell that out. It was just the way things were, and so blatantly obvious that even the dullest kids picked it up quickly. I saw this as an operational system, a weird blend of objectivity and favoritism. Like with the jocks, the best players got to be first string, no matter what year they were in, so the stars actually earned their positions. But once they got to be stars, they got their own set of rules as well. I thought writing would work the same way. So whatever the editor told me to cover, I jumped on it. I was never late with an assignment. And I always nailed it, too. If they wanted 300 words, they got 300 words. Who, what, where, when, and why, just like the faculty advisor said had to be in every story. The faculty advisor was Mr. David. The school hired him because he had a master's from the Columbia School of Journalism, and he had a lot of pieces published, in magazines with big names. He won some prizes for writing, too. Mr. David had been what they called an investigative journalist before he retired. I guess they had to pay him a lot of money to get him to teach at a high school. But that wouldn't be a problem. In the town I lived in, the parents always demanded the best teachers. They paid a lot of taxes to keep their public school as good as any private one. Better, even. That was very important if you wanted to get into the best colleges. I remember hearing my father tell my mother that was why we moved there from the city. It made the commute worthwhile, he said. Besides the school paper and the journalism class, Mr. David taught creative writing. He even worked with the debate club. Maybe he was one of those men you read about, the ones who can't stand being retired. He was busy all the time. I don't think he needed the money, so I guess that teaching was what he really wanted to do. I thought a lot about Mr. David because I was trying to come up with a solution for my problem, and I thought he might have the experience to help me. My problem was the editor of the paper. She was a fat, pasty-faced toad with frizzy hair and thick ankles. Outside of the paper, she was so marginalized that you wouldn't believe she could squeeze her disgusting presence into that tiny bit of space. But when it came to the paper, everybody always gave in to her, because she did just about all the work. That made her really valuable.